Clash of Clans podcast, OG, episode 62. Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. I'm your host, Scotty827, joined live in studio for a drive-by, the Tyler from CQ Revolution and frequent podcast guest. How's it going, Tyler? What's happening?
Pretty good. How about you?
Good. It's been a while. Looking forward
Yeah,
to catching up with all this stuff.
it's been a hot minute. I can't remember last time I was on.
I think it was 2 months ago. No, it must be 3 months ago. No way. No, it couldn't be that. Maybe. Time's going so
Yeah,
fast. So, well, there's,
I thought probably like March or February.
yeah, that's what I was saying. That would be 3 months, I guess, or three. It can't be 4 months. Well, anyways, what's happening since you were last here? What's new?
Not a whole lot. I feel like I'm kind of almost disconnecting a little bit from the game scene and not playing as much for some reason.
Do you do you think it has to do with the no training time?
It might. We were talking about that today in chat. Like the um, it seems like the that almost maybe killed the game instead of helping it.
It's kind
Like
of,
the social part of it, because you can just fill your own things or instant request when you're done. You don't have to worry about it anymore.
yeah. I, when they first introduced it, or like kind of heard about it, I don't know. I asked people if they thought that it was gonna do that, and I do feel like I'm seeing an impact, but it's not to say, people are necessarily less active, but it's like the times in the clan that are more active are just they're active at that time and not as much at other times. Um, I it worries me a little bit. I think like overall because it's a complete routine changer for one. You
Yeah,
had to have a routine before.
I think that like nails it perfectly. Like the routine is gone now. Like, or I guess it's changed, right?
Yeah.
And you can still have your routine. You just have to kind of change what you're doing almost.
Yeah, like no, maybe it's just like rearranging at times. So I guess like here's one example is like um Swim came in last night to get his Legends attacks in because he's
Mhm.
busy right up until and so it's right at he's got an hour to do them and then if there are not people around, right, then he can't get his troop requests. Um but then now he can squeeze them in instead of squeezing them in throughout the day and
Yeah.
having less pressure, which makes me a little nervous for like clans in different time zones. Um, I don't know. Are you? What was like the topic of your conversation? You guys, is everybody kind of feeling that way, or?
Well, we kind of just brought up like um our clan is getting like a little bit smaller. Like when I was talking to you last, it's probably been a couple times ago when I was talking to you about how we split up like our two groups. We've got 18 here and 18 here, so we got some subs in each one. And now we're like this month for CWL, we did 16 in our main group, and then our minis I think only had like 13 Town Hall 17s. So and then they're like scraping, some 16s and 15s to just try to make a full roster over there in the second clan. If you didn't make the main CWL, so it just seems like it's a little bit harder to get people playing, and maybe it's just a couple of groups of people that have left us. But then at the same time, like, and mine's probably a little bit just like disconnecting because I've been more busy with family and having a newborn or whatever. But it just seems like not as many people are on and chatting as much and talking about the game. Just kind of
Yeah,
seems like the troop request pops up, somebody fills it, and then somebody might say thanks, and then they just move on. Like nobody's,
yeah. There's
talking
been
in between or waiting or talking about their hits or I don't know. It just seems like, and I know I have been really bad about just hopping on, hitting, and then leaving. Like I haven't been even looking at other people's hits or checking to see anything else because I've just been so busy. But
But it's kind
I
of what
haven't.
the game enables now, though, is like
Yeah,
that type of,
it almost welcomes it, right?
yeah, like, okay, well, it's better if I'm, maybe I just wait until later then because, more people are on. I mean, I don't really have any problems getting troops or anything like that. None of
Yeah,
that. I'm kind of like extrapolating out by, even if it's like you're waiting 2 extra minutes or whatnot, you just start to see a little bit of the difference. And that it's just like it's made for more when people maybe now can come in and just do their stuff. Which I think will have some impacts on clans like overall. And I
yeah,
and I noticed like one thing that and maybe you see this too because if um is that there wasn't a lot of movement before CWL. So we're in May. We just started May or no, June. June 2025. It's we're we pushed the button last night on CWL, but if if I remember right, it usually right before CWL there are a lot of people requesting kind of moving around, almost like they're getting in place.
yeah.
Or is that more post CWL? Like
I
from
think it's
outside
both.
people.
I think it's both because you have like people moving in and out to go check in on the other clan. But then, like, I don't know,
But like
ours
new
is also,
members.
yeah, ours is also affected a little bit, I think, by clan capital on the weekends, like, depending on where CWL falls. Like, our clan capital in our main is maxed and full. So, like, people don't really care to attack because it's already full, but the rest of us that do want the medals still attack. And
Oh,
we go dump our stuff in the mini clan and then come back. And some
drop
people
some
just
off at
don't.
the House of
Yeah,
L.
or go over and drop it off at the L. Yeah, and but like some people aren't even caring to attack in CC anymore, or and not caring to like even go drop it off anywhere. So they're just maxed out and just leaving it maxed out. I don't know. It just seems like kind of like a dull point of the game. And even when they're trying to throw in these events and new troops and new equipment, um, maybe it's just I don't know. It's just like almost sterile.
I wonder because it does happen. It did occur at maybe a really bad time. Only because like schools getting out across the world, right? And to me, that's like a time of, and you see it like in the fall too, right? Or like, where like in September, everybody's routine changes because of summer and, kids go back to school or whatever it is, it just seems like there's like a mix up. And then this comes on top of it as well. Cause like I know we had some clan members who just got super busy with like finals or
Yeah.
whatever they had to do in the but that routine altering thing is kind of is a is the part that kind of worries me because the routine I feel like is really built into the clans. Like and and it could be a disruption or but then also maybe it just means that people will start to congregate by individuals, right? Like
Yeah.
a clan of 50 individuals instead of
As a group.
25.
Yeah.
I don't know, just to have. I mean, you'd imagine they would have anticipated some of this, right?
It's weird. Like some of the things you think that they maybe think about, they don't think about, I don't think sometimes. Like they're taking away their one gen donation. Like I don't know if they really thought about that well because I don't know. I used to donate a little bit one gem, but not too much, only if I had the gold pass going, you know?
Yeah,
But I tended not to donate a ton, but I would still donate every now and then. But I've noticed my gems are just piling up
me too.
because I'm not using like I'm just like, whoa, I just hit 2,000 gems on this. And it's because there's the couple new achievements that you can achieve with the newer weapons and defenses or whatever that you can take down. But just piling up gems on all my accounts where I I used to be like kind of scraping by, to get a book of heroes or
Yeah.
whatever I needed for that 500 gems. It was like, I'm kind of waiting on that. Now I'm like, I could buy four of them right now.
Someone was talking in the clan chat. I can't remember. This a couple days ago, and I made a comment about that. Like, wow, I'm not spending gems because I think I bought like a $50 pack, and usually it'll last me a while. But I just do donations a lot, and it is not going down like not nearly as fast. It, like wildly. Uh, and they said, well, that might now it's kind of making sense, a little bit even more sense. Is that if that's true, then wouldn't the players that are newer to the game, right? They would be able to use those gems more efficiently to catch up.
Uh, when that's maybe that's what they wanted to do.
I
Because
guess so
that's
then,
their whole goal, right? Is to try to catch everybody up.
because if
Because they have majority of players are not at the max town hall. Like the
y-
percentage of players are below town hall levels. So maybe they're trying to that's another way to help catch them up.
yeah, and it wasn't until you said that about like scraping by to get the books, for a book of heroes or things like that, that it kind of clicked in because they had mentioned that in chat, but I was just thinking about they meant buying books, like in terms of like with real money. Um, okay, well that would make sense, and if so, more gems, you'd be able to maybe gem time a little bit more, maybe do those apprentice, the research assistant, those type of
Yeah.
things,
Yeah.
without having to pay.
I thought about buying, I haven't bought it on one of my accounts. And I thought about buying that Builder's Apprentice because I'm like, what else am I going to be spending my gems on? Like right
Yeah,
now on my main account, actually, it's the one account that I don't have the Builder's Apprentice. I used them on the other ones to try to catch up because they were behind. But the main account doesn't have it. But I'm like, do I really want to spend the gems? Because it's only saves like an hour or something the first time, right? And then you have
right.
to pay more gems every time for more hours.
Yeah,
And I'm like, I'm pretty close to max. Like right now, we were talking the other day, me and the guy that's ahead of me on the map. Uh, like we have like six bombs left, and then we're done. So we're like
nice.
ready for this. We're ready for this next update. It's coming this month. Um, and if I had that Builder's Apprentice, I probably would have been done a while ago and just been kind of bored. Not doing anything. Walls are maxed out, loot's maxed out. Like this kind of seems like it's all sitting there building up. Like I've had max blue ore
Yeah, me.
uh
Yep.
forever or for the equipment and even my purple or pink or whatever you want to for the equipment is like maxed out too now. So I'm just like collecting
No
stars, the
way.
only one that I'm collecting. Yeah,
And all
I've
your
just been
equipment's
sitting on
maxed
it.
out?
Yeah, yep. Because I was buying like the event passes
Yep.
almost every time. But the past two events I haven't bought the event pass because I don't need it.
Yeah, and the last one wasn't really
Yeah,
any
and the last
ore.
one, those ones that don't have the ore aren't worth them, but the other ones are definitely like it's better than the gold
Yeah.
pass. You're getting the ore, you're getting the resources to buy more ore in the trader,
And and
and
you
then
were oh sorry,
go
you can
ahead.
finish. Well, were you Matt, so like last year at this time, were you like as a 16, where were you at?
Pretty similar, like waiting for the new update, and like we didn't have equipment then, right? Because we just got equipment in December. Was that the
The
when it released?
It must have been. Yeah, because I was coming back into the game right around then. So like when it was introduced
Yeah,
is a little fuzzy to me. Because
yeah.
I thought it had been there for a while when I came back.
No, I think it was right when you came back. So like I was around the same place that Max stuff waiting for. I'll usually buy a couple gold passes and hold on to them until I need to use them. And usually like I didn't use one the last 2 months. The last time that there was a little mini update is the last time I used a gold pass. So then this month I know there's going to be an update, so I used the gold pass already. And then that way when the update comes, I already have, you know, all that in my gold pass waiting for me to get extra books, extra, to be going again, faster building times and all that stuff.
Okay, so you want it all done and ready. Um, so it is about the same pacing, right? Like you like 17 is.
Yeah, I don't think I'm any ahead or behind. I just think like I feel like I have more stocked up because
Yeah,
probably because of the equipment ores. Is it even ore? What the heck is it called? I feel like
yeah,
I'm calling the wrong thing.
yep. No, you're right. Yeah.
Equipment ores, and then like the clan capital medals. Have you noticed yours piling up now that you don't have to use them to donate to yourself? Or are you still
Click.
donating
Oh,
to
you mean the
yourself?
reinforcement or
Yeah.
like the? Well, I'm
Well, because the 60 medals, like you can use to reinforce yourself, but you really don't need to now that people can instantly train, and
yeah.
redonate.
I use them a little
I,
bit more because I'll play like I like to. I'll be on like late at night sometimes, or if I just want to quick get it, like I'm gonna take the dog for a walk or whatever. So let me just get this in. So I'll hit it. Even if I'm waiting only like 30 seconds, I'll just hit it. Um, but this is my first year maxed. So this is kind of all new, like to me, like being at a maxed town hall and like being close to like maxing out my base, or in the neighborhood anyways. So like kind of where I'm at, like in pacing, it's hard for me to gauge, because I wasn't a max one this last year, but I'm still having a real hard time with, or I'm having, um, the raid medals I used to. I think I'm behind on a lot of things because what I was doing for the last year was popping potions. I have a real potion problem. I just out behind the shed popping potions for my heroes.
like hero
Um,
potions.
yep, huff,
Well, then they made it so it's
huffing,
not plus
huffing hero
five anymore.
potions.
They made it so it was max, so then they're even more useful. So you've got,
Yeah.
take advantage of them.
So I was like maxing my, so I wasn't using those raid medals on extra or an equipment.
Or okay.
And
See,
yeah, so I think I got behind on that.
I was buying the ore every time with my medals.
Okay, yeah, and I was
Like
I was like raid met
the
or I was doing research potions,
yeah,
anything that would sped up time
because you're a
basically.
little bit, and that's probably the difference between like people trying to catch up and people that are ahead, kind of like you're where you were at, where you started the game back
Yeah.
up and you were many town halls behind. But it just shows you that like there is ways for you to catch up.
Yeah.
It, you know,
And I think
because when did you start? What town hall were you at when you came back on?
I think I just went to a 13.
So you were three town halls behind at that time because 16 was the only one that was, and then when 17 came out, so now
Yeah.
you've caught up four town hall levels
Yeah, I went
in just over a year, maybe,
yeah, so it was like 13 and then I think about this time or a little bit before last year I went to 14 and
or
then
less than a year actually.
yeah, and then 15
Yeah,
was July or August through November. I did 16 during Hammer Jam
yeah.
and went to 17 right after that.
And
Be-
Hammerjet usually the months before the newer town hall comes out, so that was probably November-ish.
so like in thinking about it that way and maybe with some of these changes you could see how people could progress. And my heroes were really behind too.
Yeah,
But I was,
and
and I
you're all
wasn't
maxed now,
spend a
right?
ton of money. But what's that?
And your heroes are all maxed now, right?
Yeah, like because they had the hero event in July, and so I
Uh,
just ground it out. So it's like kind of looking at thinking about it's probably like a year between, depending on how you play, I guess, in your order, like your upgrade. But Hammer Jam really will be a time that people can catch up to later on this
yeah.
year.
It's
Um,
all I think it's all like how much you play and when you play. Like if you capitalize on Hammer Jam and you bust your butt, you could get like we had Charlie in our clan last year. He was so far behind on walls. Like he was still in like Town Hall 14 walls. And he
yeah,
just busted out during Hammer Jam. Like he just left one builder free
and and
and
just
he
went.
got all of his his walls back up to Town Hall 16 and was ready to go into 17. It was just like that's crazy.
Well, think about what he could do this year,
Yeah.
right? Like, well, I guess I mean, you could attack way more during.
Yeah. Now that you're instantly training troops, instantly
Hmm.
training, you get your CC instantly, basically, because people don't have to cook it anymore. Like, you really could capitalize if you play during the right time and you're behind, you could catch up so easily.
Yeah, like Sasquatch was telling me like 200,000 DE on a lunch break. And
That's wild.
that is just like mind
That's
blowing.
a
But
full hero upgrade.
yeah, but think about how that plays then to like the whole like rest of um like this update, right? Where or like the node wait time where you can just come in and do it all, get your thing and like your upgrade, just get it done in like an hour and then you don't have to be working on the grind throughout the day kind of thing or coming back and having your village. Or I guess maybe that's in the queue now.
Yeah.
They
I don't
haven't.
know. Like, I think partly because I just had, the newborn and the new kid and all life got busy. But I thought when that instant training came out, I was like, oh man, I'll be able to knock out all my Legend Leagues hits way faster now because I don't have to wait as much. Because I usually could get like if I'm running all three accounts, I'd have to get 24 Legend League hits in, then the six war hits if we're doing, regular wars. Um, and then if we were doing competitive wars, even more. But like I could get probably 18 to 16 attacks done in an hour if I just popped the potion that used to train your troops faster
Yeah.
and donate to myself. That was the easiest thing. Like I was also accommodating my armies to just donate part of what I had for my next account, and I would just switch, donate to myself. Whatever was in my CC was whatever I already had cooked that where I didn't have to spend time extra cooking things. But when the update came out, like I just fell out of Legend. I didn't fall out of Legend League. I fall out of pushing. Like I didn't really care anymore. Like I was so all the time so busy with making sure I got all my accounts, all the hits in every single day. And then I think that time after the update, like I had like a couple weeks where I couldn't get them all done because I was just so busy. And I realized, well, I don't really, why do I need to keep pushing? Like it's not that big of a deal. And
Yeah.
I don't need all this extra loot. So I just started playing a lot more casually and not as
Or-
much.
So are you getting your Legends attacks in? Are you pushing now?
No, I'm still not. Like I haven't pushed probably since February or March. I'm just getting as many as I can in during the day, which is
Okay.
probably like three or four on each account. It's enough to get my loot bonus and then just stay head above water in Legend Leagues because I'm down at the bottom, so it's easy to triple all these guys, and then
You're hanging
I'm
out with
not
me.
getting
No.
I'm not getting I'm not getting hit as by as good of players. So like my bases are holding up okay.
Yeah.
and it's just like I'm just floating at 51 to 5,300, you know.
Yeah.
And I I just have been too busy to try to push, and I probably could try to push on one account now that there's instant train and just focus on one account and pushing. But
Yeah.
I've been trying new things too. Like
Ooh,
been stumbled on the shocks Furnace Army, and the one that you're running too is it's fun. So I've been trying it on one account and trying some other account. I'm trying something different on each account almost.
that's cool. Like experimenting.
Yeah, instead of like just the rewriters on all three accounts, same army, same everything, just repeat, repeat, repeat. So it
Dialed
got kind of
in,
boring.
just
Yeah,
grinding it out.
where I'm probably not as polished in one strategy. Maybe now I'm a little more versatile and I can recognize that's not a good base for the Furnace Army. That's more of a Root Rider army or whatever.
Yeah. So are you feeling good about CWL? Like,
Um, I'm a little nervous about CWL because I don't feel like I'm as great at the Furnace Army. So we'll see how things go. The last two CWLs, um, I've had one of my three accounts at the top every of each month, so that's good. Like I'm still doing okay. The others, I ended up getting a 1 star on both, not both, but one of the accounts on each of the months. So then in Archon, when you get a 1 star, you get benched for a couple. So then I just fall way down the leaderboard, and you
yeah.
can't catch back up. But with my other 1 to 2 accounts that I've been doing well on, I've had them in the top 5 and top 3 of our attacking. So I feel like I'm still there all right, but just probably not as competitive as I was and diehard as I was months ago.
Are you having fun with the furnaces?
They're pretty cool. I'm learning a lot about and even watching other videos, like not just Shock, but H2 had a video yesterday, maybe today, where he did rocket loons and the furnaces. Like he combined the two. And
Oh,
he was talking about how because Shock uses like his warden and or at least the one of the videos that I watched, his warden and he had like 6 furnaces,
yeah.
behind it. And Itsu said today that that's too many. Like you're wasting that troop space because they're not doing anything. By the time
Can only
they
burn it
get
so
to a
much.
building, yeah, they can. By the time they get to a building, it's already overwhelmed and it's not doing anything, or they're all getting killed off by a multi inferno.
Yeah.
So he said, at max 3, like just put them in groups of 2 or 3 together, and then that's more useful than putting all 6 in one spot. So I started trying that out a little bit today. I've only got like 3 attacks in doing it, but I keep learning new things and
Are you
trying new things out.
are you bringing a Skelly spell?
Um, I think I was for my heroes.
Because I would I think I found my CWL combo, and now I'll go look at Shakinitsu and see. I always get nervous about switching it up right before. I've been
Yeah.
practice, but it's still like it's kind of dicey. But I found like if it gets into a spot with like the multi infernos or the spitters even,
Mhm.
I'll just drop or scatter anything. Um, but I'll drop a Skelly spell to distract, and then it can
Mm.
overwhelm to save. So
Skellies
that's
and the furnaces together.
yeah. Then it gives it just enough that it can like get to where it's going. So I was using it with um, I had it in to use as a distraction or however I needed to use it, and I would just start popping it in those last minute saves, and it would
Yeah.
maybe before, like, if you're doing any cloning with it and it can't quite jump to that spot, then I'm like, okay, I need a guarantee, then I'll just do it for timing too. So but it's still like I still got a lot to learn. So the exciting news for this CWL was that there was some discussion in the leader chat. Um, about
Mhm.
bases. And so I was thinking prior to this season, there's been, some previews or leaks or something. I don't even know what it is. Like if it's common knowledge or whatnot, but it's out there for everybody, that there's going to be maybe a new defense for Town Hall 17 coming,
Yeah.
some troop levels and stuff like that, right? And so, so we weren't talking about that, but I was thinking to myself, like, that means our maps are going to change up and all these things. And it kind of seems like every time about ready to buy bases and stuff, something happens, right? Like, it's
Yeah.
always like, oh, there's a big update. Oh, Town Hall 17 came out. And so they were talking about it. And I just was like, let me just go see what I can find quick. Like, instead of like contacting people, like, just let me just go look and find. So I ended up looking through, and uh the one I knew I could get right then for download was from um Clash Champs
Yeah.
online. And so I bought a base pack for this CWL um to share with the clan. And so I think like that's a big thing for us to be starting to get ready for CWL. It was kind of exciting to do, actually, because I went on, and I think it was like $55, like, all told. And then what we could do is use it between, because House of L, we're going to do a 15 this time in Masters 1. And then we were going to do 15 or a 30, but we have a lot of like 16s graduating to 17. And basically just between the two of us, we could, a lot of seconds accounts in that other war. So we were able to use them between those two clans, which was really kind of cool. So I'm
That's cool. How
excited.
many bases did that come with?
15.
Oh, perfect. So
Yeah.
you can just use them on both clans then.
Yeah. Yep. And it was really easy. And, uh, well, here's the one thing I wish. So you ordered, and then it had each of the base links and the information. I
Yeah.
wish it all came out on like one sheet, because I had to go through and like put them up on Google Docs. So I put them in there, the picture, put the information in, just like combined it, and had ChatGPT just like make it look nice, and then post it. But I think it's a pretty good system, because I just posted um, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 through 15
Yeah.
in the Discord. And I just said, if you select the base you want, and if you're in House of L, do a fire emoji, react to a fire. And if you're going to use it to claim it in House of L, and then you heart emoji to claim it in L2 for this one.
There you go.
So,
We tried that one, I think it was maybe the last time we actually did the pod. Somebody had bought some and we used them for our CWL when we got up to Champs 2, and
how
we
do
didn't have as great a success as we thought we would with them.
really?
Yeah, there was a lot of them getting tripled, and it wasn't that great. I don't know if it depends on, like, if you've gotta have a max base or, and
Yeah, I
I'm sure it
suppose.
does, like, a lot of the lower end ones. And I kept track, actually did, like, a spreadsheet of, like, who ran the base in each
Yeah.
war and what got tripled and which bases. There was, like, a handful of them out of the 15 that did do good, but then there was also a handful that got tripled, like, every single time, so we
Did you
kinda knew
do
those
a
were duds.
did you do a comparison to like your previous month?
I didn't. That would have probably been a better thing to do, to actually compare to see, if somebody had their own base before. Had
Yeah.
It was kinda hard too, because some of the guys gave up after, like, 2 rounds and were like, "Yeah, I'm not running that base anymore." They switched to something else, so it was like,
Oh,
after getting tripped twice, they kinda just gave up maybe a little too early on it, but out of 7, if it's already tripled twice, it's kind of
yeah. It's kind of,
tough. You don't really wanna run it again if their Bentons could be tripled again, but
yeah. It'll be cool to see these. what was cool is like I'd be interested to see if it pumped it up or not. Uh,
Yeah,
I should keep that in mind, like through this CWL. What was kind of cool is that like we know going into it, everybody has access to a good base or a
yeah,
relatively good base or one that at least shouldn't have been on the internet.
yeah,
So we got at least that uh, going for us. So that way, if it does get tripled or whatnot, then it might be more on attacking. Um, but what's cool is like I put a bunch of them in my different slots because they really do look like these bases that you're seeing in Legends. Kind of a different, more spread out design. Um, that it's must just kind of be like the new base meta, but it's great for practicing because it's probably what we're gonna run up against this CWL.
yeah. I kind of noticed a pretty good difference because actually, so the new season of Legends just started over like what 3 or 4 days ago,
Yeah,
and on my main account, I actually had until last night. I only got 7 out of 8, but I'd done all 8 of 8, so I'd gotten pretty high up into the top 1,000 actually, um, in the US, and
just
started to notice
you
like
just
a
wake up
big change.
out of bed, hop into the top 1,000.
Well, I mean, it's like the first 4 days, and it was
Oh,
I think the first 4 days is kind of lucky because like, some people aren't pushing and some people are, but, like, you just get this random group of
I suppose it's a fine
bases you're
edge.
attacking because I think you're, like everybody's in that same range of who you're actually attacking for those first few days because
Oh,
nobody can go too high, you know?
yeah,
But, uh, I did notice yesterday the bases were a little bit harder for sure, so Um, I'm starting to see a lot of invis bases and that's tough too because in CWL you can plan for that, right? So
yeah.
I think bases for Legends and then CWL is 2 different things for sure. But yeah, that'll be cool to see. You should keep track of how they did last month and back into this month. Do you have access to how they did last month? Like who did or how
Oh,
people
how
did
our
and
base is held up.
yeah.
Yeah, I think we do through that Clash King app.
Clash
Um,
King or Clash Ninja. You can go back on Clash Ninja, the website, and you can like link up your account and
yeah,
look at everybody's past wars as long as your war log is public instead of private.
and I suppose there's probably some protocol that we didn't really do that other clans probably do, um, like testing the bases thoroughly,
Yeah,
because we're coming
we
into
didn't
it.
do a lot of it. Yeah, that probably would have been better too. We didn't really do that. We just kind of threw them in. It's
Yeah,
also, I think, important to make sure everybody runs the correct CC instead of running whatever they think it,
yeah,
because those base builders do build specifically for,
yeah.
I
So
guess, if they're doing everything right.
I think it was like learning because I ended up putting that out in the clan mail, putting it in the Discord. So so doing it's been fun, and just that figuring out, okay, if this is how we're gonna distribute them, does it work, and go through that process. But I suppose it'll be good to have those bases also for Clash of Worlds, right?
Yeah,
Y-
yeah, tournament basis,
Or
probably a good
or
idea.
or is it gonna change a lot based on hard mode?
That's true, and maybe the new defense. It didn't say
Yeah.
when the update was, right? On the calendar this month, it just said update,
Yeah, I was looking at
but it didn't claim where it was.
yeah, it didn't say anything about the update on the calendar for the month. It has, of course, the gold pass. So it is the June Dark Days season. Um CWL 1 through 11. We have a challenge level 1, 1 through 8, and that starts or that's the first through the wait a second. Why does it say challenge level 1, 1 through 8?
The first through the eighth.
But we haven't
So
got
like
the
those are the
challenge,
days.
right?
I think there is a challenge available.
Oh. I did. I guess I missed it.
They usually I haven't even done it yet, but I think they usually show it,
Oh,
or it usually pops up right at the beginning of the month.
oh, oh, like in the oh,
Tab down in the bottom right
yeah, okay. I don't.
or bottom left.
Okay.
Left
Oh,
or
I
right?
didn't even see that there. Yeah. Okay. Time left.
I haven't
Controllable
checked it out,
chaos.
but yeah.
Yeah, I was just watching through some videos. Yeah, getting ready for CWL has been kind of crazy. So
Is
there's
it
that
is there
control.
like controllable heroes again?
Yeah, controllable chaos. As Queen, explore the murky streets of Dark Days City as Queen Fatale. Free allied
Oh,
troops
cool.
and earn 3-star rewards in the special controllable hero challenge.
And is there good rewards in there?
Um,
I haven't even
25
looked. Probably should have looked.
gems, a hero potion, and 400 uh XP. So it must just
Nice.
be a mini
Just a
mini
mini one.
event.
But then
Uh
there's going to be more levels later on, 8 through 15, it says.
yeah, so that's the first. Wow, I should have really looked closer at this. The 1 through 8, the first through the 8th challenge level. Um Challenge level 2 is 8 through the 15th. The medal event, and this is what uh judo was he kind of brought up, was it's got the warden on the top. The challenge level 2 must be, it has the minion prince on the top, and we've kind of suspected that there might be new equipment, but that usually comes in the medal event, doesn't it?
Yeah, the medal event usually has the equipment, not the challenge. And that's kind of weird because, yeah, like I'm looking at the picture too. The warden's on top of the medal event, which you'd think, I'm pretty sure it's the prince uh crown, right? The everybody's been
Yeah,
leaking
the
the
dark
real
crown or something.
yeah, the new epic equipment for the warden. Or not warden, the prince.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? If you look at the challenge level number 2, it looks
Uh,
like he's wearing that crown.
yeah, it does.
So maybe that's the reward for challenge level 2.
Hmm.
Hmm. Maybe the warden's also getting.
Two epic abilities or two abilities. That'd be
Well,
crazy.
what is behind the warden on that thing? It's a wheel kind of looking
I don't know.
thing.
Like a
I
dartboard, maybe.
dartboard. It looks like a dartboard.
Yeah. Does that have
Maybe
to
there's
do
a
with
clue
something
in
with the
that.
dart days? Who knows? I
And
did
then
see something about the picture that has the question mark with the loot locked up.
you
They're
did
gonna
see.
change like the storage. The storages are gonna change the look of them.
Oh, really? Oh, to like a furnace type thing, like the thing in the picture, like a vault.
Yeah. Instead of like your storage for your gold, it's gonna change to that picture.
Okay. And then we got
And I
climbing
think
games.
visually they've have done some similar things with storages before with changing the colors. So I'm guessing they'll just change like the code for the picture of it. It'll look like a locked up vault instead.
Yeah, I suppose with the didn't they change the elixir that one time before?
Yeah, is the sour elixir is like green instead of pink
Yeah.
or purple or whatever you want to call it.
Well, what are you thinking about this theme?
I haven't. I'm not in love with it. It doesn't like stand out to me like it's super cool, but I did get the pass and the I think the RC skin are the cooler ones. So that looks cool. Um, and somebody was saying that those skins, since they're all black and white, will be really easy to see on the map,
That's
like
what I
as you're
was
playing.
wondering.
I think Itsu said that. He's like, these skins, if you're ever like confused about where your heroes are, these are gonna pop more than anything else.
Yeah, because I was looking at it, and so I wasn't. I'm not like I really like the ninja for the RC. I really like last
Oh
month's
yeah,
skin. So I was kind of comparing or thinking about, that against this. So I got the skin because I got the pass. It's pretty cool. I don't think it's like one of my favorites. And
yeah,
then I was looking at the video of the different skins, and I saw that the Minion Prince had a monkey, right? He's like the jailer, and
yeah,
I thought that kind of looked pretty cool. And I wondered if that black and white would make him easier to see in the midst of everything.
yeah.
I did like this maze a graphics though with the warden or the minion prince. I mean, where he's got a cloud and tornado kind of stuff around him. I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah. They went like 4 months without having skins for the Minion Prince. I think I said Warden, but Minion Prince. And then all of a sudden, now we've got like 4 months in a row of just Minion Prince skins that you can buy. Of course, they're money, there was only one in the
Yeah,
past, but the rest of them you gotta buy. It's just kind of funny to
I
me that they're just dropping them all at one time.
I thought the femme fatale uh, queen looks pretty cool. Like on the graphics and stuff, I don't know if I would like her on the map with my other stuff. Although I really think the warden is kind of cool. Like he looks like the is he a choir preacher or is I can't remember what they called
I
him.
don't know what.
Um, but
I'm not sure what he would
he's
be.
got a book and he's got a pistol. I think from what I can
Ah,
see in the thing. Um, and then did I see the king?
the
The
king's got the. You said the word. The king's the one that has the pistol.
Oh, the king has a pistol. Is
Yeah.
the action figure the one with the cleaver in its back?
Um, I don't know.
I
The
think that.
warden looks like in the loading screen at least, like because they're all on the loading screen. The warden looks like it's got like the bank, like it robbed the bank and is holding all the money.
Yeah.
The
Huh.
king's running with a little pistol. The queen with the gun. Is that like the first time that we've actually had like a gun as a weapon?
No,
Besides
because
just like,
Wild West,
oh, Wild
we
West
had
had
the
one.
revolvers. I think there were
Okay.
a couple others.
RC's got like the microphone thing going on. And she's got the little skeleton that carries her uh shield too.
Yeah. So I think so at first I guess I thought like this wouldn't be I wasn't sure what I was going to think about the theme, but I do like the different elements of it. But I just maybe I probably just wouldn't go all in on it. But did you
Yeah,
see the
not
scenery?
not buy them all. I did see the scenery. I don't love the black and white of that either.
I don't either,
Like I don't
but I
like I like some color
it's
and
kind of
different things going
intriguing
on.
though. I might just buy it. I like the traffic and
The
the
little
police,
yeah,
so I'm wondering how I would.
little police chase and stuff going on.
Yeah, I get really like sensitive to that light stuff. Like, in the winter, it's like I have to have my village in like the in a lighter environment and stuff because
Not
it's
I get all dark.
yeah, because
But
it's
like
like it's
wasn't
dark at
there
5 o'clock.
there was one of those maps though that everybody was buying because it made it harder to see. Was it like the chessboard one? There was one of them in Legends that like for a
Yeah,
while everybody was running because it was harder to see some of the tiles and like see the
was that one maybe
defenses and stuff.
before I was playing, or
Oh.
it would be cool if there were a few more things. Uh, Was it the map that was that had like green and like lasers, or am I thinking of something completely different?
Yeah. I can't remember it completely. Now it's gonna bug me that I can't remember that, but there was one that everybody was like really onto for a minute because it was much harder to actually see what was going on. And then everybody started doing the decorations and whatnot too after that. So
Yeah, it seems like they're putting a lot into the decorations. Uh, Pretty cool though. I mean, seeing that village, I I didn't think I'd be a fan of of black and white, but I think I will probably pull the trigger on that scenery. Just so different. Um, just to watch the cops and robbers. Like I have the crossover scenery right now from the Supercell ID store,
oh yeah.
and I really like that one because it's got a train going through. I think it's pretty cool, and it kind of blends it all together. Uh, what else with the new season? Am I
There was a new spell, but I
what?
haven't seen anything. Yeah, there's supposed to be a new spell, but I
Oh,
haven't seen any leaks on it. So there's a new spell factory. There's like been pictures leaked of that,
oh,
but there's
really?
no there's been yeah, you can see it in like one of the preview videos or something.
Well, that's kind of interesting because like we kind of started out at
A new
the
spell.
beginning. I was looking at the release notes
Yeah.
um for Clash of Clans, and it kind of brought up let's see if I can get back to it here. Um, so it was we were looking at the June 2015, and that was a Spell Factory coming out.
It was the
Um,
dark spell too. And 10 years later, we're
yeah,
getting another dark spell.
so I was looking through through like the release notes trying to look for a June one, right, from the early years. Just like, okay, well, what would be coming out, about this time? And it really
Yeah.
did look like they follow a pretty at least at that time it was following like a release thing. But what I was reminded of in looking for like a May release and then a July 1st release or something like that's when the
I
patch
thought it
notes.
was always in August, and then it
And then
seems
there
like
was
they
another one in August.
okay. Because August is usually one of the bigger quarterly ones, I thought.
Yeah. So I think what happens, and this is what is that Supercell goes on vacation.
Yeah, they go on holiday is what they always say. Because they're from Europe, right?
Yeah. So if it's so if they're gone for the month, and I remember this, and the same last year, just not to expect a lot of stuff in July, but I'd imagine then like this update should drop in June if it's rumored. And it
Yeah.
kind of
I
follows
would
Pat.
bet it's right after CWL, which would be better than what they've been doing that one month
Yeah,
where they released it at the beginning of CWL. It screwed everybody over.
that's what I was worried about. And I had everything saved up. I've got a book of building. I got a troop book of troops or whatever, and I'm ready. And I open it up, going, "Where's the new defense? What is? Oh, oh, oh! It's nothing. Nothing. Not even troop
Not
upgrades."
No, not yet. I bet you it'll be right after. Like it says that challenge things on the 10th. But I bet it's probably somewhere or the
Well,
sorry, medal event starts on the 10th. So I bet you it's somewhere in there. We'll throw
I
the
think that's a
update.
big shout out to Supercell if there's an update dropping that they didn't do it right at CWL.
Yeah, I think they learned their lesson last time because when they did do that, there was a lot of negative feedback from that.
Well, it's hard to catch up. It just throws everything right into free fall
Yeah. Well,
with
and everybody's like,
attackings.
you don't have bases ready. You don't know, troops are not ready. Some people are able to get the troops and some aren't. Just kind of throws everything off.
Yeah, and then well, and then what was it? 2 months ago, we had the WWE with the with those big heroes
Yeah.
army camps. That was a lot of chaos. So it's kind of nice just to know that we're not starting at weird places with this CWL.
Yeah, having a normal one per se,
Yeah. What
if it could be
what league are
normal.
you guys in right now?
We're in champs too. We've been stuck there for the past probably 4 or 5 months, which is good. We haven't gotten demoted. We've been really close to being demoted every time, but
So
I think the highest we've finished is fourth.
okay.
It's just tough, man. Like if
Yeah,
there's
I
been
bet.
some there's been some wars where like the winning teams are scoring like one or two away from a perfect war almost every single
Really.
war. Yeah. So it's dog eat dog. You can't mess around, and like if you don't have, you know,
So you
10
guys
out of the 15 triples, you're out of it for sure.
really.
You've got to have can only miss, less than 5 of the triples to be in a war, basically.
And are you going up against all max bases?
The top ones, probably like the top 10 are pretty close to almost always max. And
Okay.
then below that it can vary, but it's it's pretty tough. Um it's been a lot harder to go perfect for sure than when we were in Champs 3, like, to get 21
Yeah.
stars through the week. And then it's hard to keep somebody from not tripling your base every single time. It's just
You have to play all sides of the
yeah. Like I feel like the game is I don't know. Hard mode is hard, right? They're
yeah,
not getting as many triples, but then normal mode almost seems too easy for some people to where they are tripling almost everything all the
constantly.
time. Yeah. Like it seems like before when we were in Town Hall 16, we didn't see these kind of wars where it was like, 42 stars or as max you can get is 45. Um, so
How
it's
was
just a little bit different town hall. It seems like it comes and goes, right? Each town hall has its own little setting and different
yeah.
things. So we'll see what Town Hall 18 brings.
One, it's like I kind of feel like too, like remember when Town Hall 17 dropped? It was like too easy, but it was like easier than the 16. But then as
Yeah, because
everything
we were all
starts,
saying nobody wants to hit the 16.
yeah.
They'd rather hit the 17.
Do you think that's still true?
No, I think now it's kind of caught up. We do see we just had a war the other day where one of the last bases, like a regular war, we've been almost getting perfects in regular wars with 25 to 30 people. And one of the last bases was a 16 still. And I was like, come on, somebody just hit that already and quit messing around. Just
Yeah.
get it over with.
Yeah, because I guess we're like, I our makeup is changing a little bit because people are just graduating up and the roster's
Sure.
filling out. So like, there's just more 16s for the 16s to hit 16s and stuff. But I think it like I wouldn't think twice. Like I wouldn't think about it as being more difficult. I think
Yeah.
especially seeing like people have upgraded and it just gets heavier and heavier, and then you start to add in all the supercharging on top of that. Um,
Yeah.
and then it just becomes I don't know. For me lately, it's been uh, a struggle that sometimes just comes down to time. Um, in terms of like time fails. I
Oh, yeah.
kind of had this last war was all right, but it's been a couple kind of rough ones for me before that. I just
And that's the one thing I'm struggling with a little bit on the army of that we're running with the furnaces is sometimes time is an issue. I don't know if you've noticed that or not.
yeah, yeah. But I did
Like I
real
almost want to take a couple barbs in there to extra to kind of add at the end and get rid of a furnace maybe to help speed things up at the end.
yeah, it's very like in the FCs it'll be 98, 97%.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's something where at that point I might have 5 buildings right at the end already like if with 2 more seconds. How are you starting that attack?
RC entry. Um, and I was doing probably like 5 invises with just the boots and not the haste. I've been using the rocket spear.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, me too.
and then just recalling her, and then like I try to throw in a furnace wherever I put her at the beginning to kind of clean
Yeah.
up that stuff over
Okay.
there.
I started doing
Then
that
after
too.
I recall her, I'll throw down the warden and like 4 furnaces. I was throwing down 6, but now after watching Itsu's video, I'll probably just throw down like 3 or 4 and save the rest for other places.
So what I've been
And
doing,
then
oh, sorry, you can finish.
just king and queen from another corner, and then the champion back in with her rocket spear to kind of finish things off.
And what's the rest of your army? Like,
Just max furnace.
oh,
I've
okay.
got one super wall breaker to help the king and queen, but other than that, it's just like all furnaces. But I think I want to start running uh a super barb or something in there to kind of help and get rid of maybe a furnace
I'll have to
to
look.
help out.
I got to check that mass furnace out. I kind of doing a hybrid where I'm only bringing 5 furnaces.
Mm.
And so I do the entry like RC, and I just put her back in. I
Mm.
put her in to shave off somewhere, and then what I found is what's working right now is I start my warden, in a furnace, whatever to clean, start my warden to do a warden walk. And wherever I want, and I got my CC full of furnaces. So I'll put like 2 furnaces behind the warden. So that's cleaning up. And I want to walk him to where I can drop that siege barrack where for the rest of I want a straight line wherever I want my line to go, like
Okay.
straight from it. And this is what just has been working for me with the funnel. And then, so at first, so wherever it's gonna go, I want that stream to go straight from there, right? And so usually I'll drop it a little bit ahead of the warden. The pekkas will come out, and then I'll just keep wrapping around the base, kind of like probably usually you know what I mean, like wrap around like I'm
Yeah, you're wrapping around kind of.
yeah. So I've got the
Are you
one
using the
wedge.
fireball for the warden?
Nope, nope. I'm using
No.
the double tome.
Ah,
Um,
okay. I started using the fireball and noticed it does pretty good. Like you don't have
maybe
to
I
worry
should.
about getting huge value. It's just get some value, but it is a rate a little more risky, and like I feel like sometimes I lose him pretty early. Sometimes I just don't keep my eye on him and he dies all of a sudden.
Yeah, maybe if I was, maybe I'll experiment with it. Um,
Have you been trying in hard mode with the same army?
Yeah, and I just have figured out the pathing on it because that was the piece that was missing was the CC. Like I was putting it in and trying to figure out the best method, and basically it's like I want to get my funnel to go where the straight line is going to be, and I only have one invis with me, and so I let my the rest of my army do its work when I'm bringing like healers, like 4 roots, uh 2 E Titans, um and whatnot. And so I'm running that one through, and then and it usually cleans out, and so cleans out the other side, and so that straight line now is just going straight to the center of the base.
Mm.
And
And
then I
everything's kind of just overwhelming it.
yeah, and sometimes it doesn't, it's getting there, and there's only a lot of times like 3 furnaces coming at it. But then I drop my clone and rage wherever in the end of the battle, or at that point of the battle where I need something just cleaned out. And I've been doing it more in the center and waiting till later in the battle to do it. And so then, if that happens, then it kind of cleans out the center. And a lot of times I get the town hall if like my warden and my army walk around. And then, and as I clean around, let's say I'm going from let's say I'm starting from like 2 o'clock and I clean out at 3 o'clock with the RC warden going from like 2, and I drop the siege at 10. By the time that the warden gets over to 9 o'clock and that troop, those are in the center, I can blow that out and then just finish the clockwork. But sometimes I run into it around 4 o'clock, like finishing up at like three
Yeah.
o'clock.
Are you saving anything for cleanup?
Well, I've been holding on the furnaces a little bit because,
So hold on to an extra one or so.
yeah, because like I think it does better. I didn't get every time I added more, I wasn't getting more.
Okay.
And so I think if I use kind of the first furnace with the warden to kind of funnel and create a funnel, but just to like keep things cleaning. Um, if I
I
put
think it
those
helps
when
speed
I,
the warden walk up. Like it helps him
yeah,
keep going a little quicker because it's cleaning up all those little buildings.
and it'll be the warden, and then I'll drop the queen right with the warden, so he goes fast. And then right when I'm
Mm,
gonna want him to hopefully kind of go in was where I'll drop the siege barrack, and then I'll drop 2 furnaces on the siege barrack. So once those are done, by the time those are done, and they'll back up the warden and the troops, then then they come out. And so then those 3 from the CC will kind of hit last. But it's a work in
what are you
progress.
running in the CC?
3 furnaces.
Okay. So
So
those three at the end.
yeah, and that's
And I
kind of
started
what
doing
I'm.
that too because at first I was running the troop launcher with some stuff to just like it would actually go in where the king and queen were
Yeah, I was
because
liking
that's
that
where
with
the
the
most truce
Eddies.
capacity would be. But then it didn't seem like it was doing all that great. So I started running the furnaces, and they do seem like, and the siege barracks, and it does seem like it helped out a little bit more.
Yeah, I Swim Boy was doing really well with those furnaces in the CC, and so if I save that clone for those CC clone and rage, that seems to be a really good back end trick. But again, I'm not. I'm still much a big work in progress. But I suppose we probably better wrap up, huh? Is that
Yeah, yep, getting pretty close.
okay? So, well, shout outs this week.
Um, Shout out to you guys for inviting us over to do the world qualifier this month with you guys. I know you
Yeah,
guys
that's
had
gonna be
maybe a
fun.
couple guys that couldn't do it. We're going to kind of merge a
Yeah,
couple
that's
guys from our
awesome.
clan and a couple guys from you and see how we can do together. So that'll be
Yeah,
interesting. We actually haven't done one at all, so you guys will kind of have to lead the way and tell us how things go.
cool.
Um,
Yeah, that's gonna be
but
exciting.
excited to try that out and shout out to Drew and Charlie and a couple of the other guys over at CQ for helping running things a little bit more while I've been busy these last few months. And uh, shout out to you for keeping this pod going. It's cool to listen in every week, and I'm always
Yeah,
checking on Tuesday night or Wednesday morning to see,
had
where's the pod.
a little bit of stream problems last week, but I think I got it figured out. Uh,
Yeah,
well, shout out to you for being on here. I've been tracking you down over the last couple of months. So it'll be cool to see and to get to hang out a little bit more during Worlds
yeah,
coming up. That'd be fun to because we kind of see each other's attacks all the time, so be able to see you guys is going to be a great time. Shout out to House of L. Shout out to the other podcasts out there in Clashland and the YouTubers out there and the streamers, of course, who provide a lot of good entertainment in the evenings,
yeah.
which is fun. Uh, so until next time, get a hold of us, Clash Clans Podcast at gmail.com or clashclanspodcast.com. Until next week, during the dark days, keep it clashy.
Keep it classy.
Skilly beep 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 skilly beep.